Hello, welcome to episode 8 of Object Analysis, a show where I analyze various object show elements, characters, and plot points. Today I will be discussing a character archetype, the jock. Jocks are a very common stereotype in object shows. When I say jock, let me define what I mean by it. A jock character in an object show is a character that is physically stronger than the other contestants, but has a bad attitude problem. A telltale sign of a jock is being within the first 3 eliminations. So, why does this happen to jocks? Let's find out. Jocks tend to be set up relatively early on as a threat, whether it be because of their physical strength or their lone wolf mentality. These characters usually alienate themselves from the other characters quickly due to their egos. Even with all their might, 9 times out of 10, the jock team loses. No matter if it's a vote to save, eliminate, or a contestant vote, they get voted out. Jocks only fly under the radar when there are much worse detriments to the team in the game still, like a character who only complains and doesn't help out, the evil mastermind who blatantly tries to manipulate super early on, or the mean girl who spreads gossip. If a jock is able to fly under the radar, perhaps the writer will throw them a bone and flesh out their character a bit, if they are lucky. I would at this point normally go through every object show that features this trope to get a statistic to throw around, but this happens so often I do not believe it to be necessary. I literally cannot think of a series that features the stock jock stereotype without unique circumstances for them to survive beyond episode 2 or 3. So I'll be briefly talking about the few that do, that I can think of. I have made an entire video essay about the first character, Flaggy from Village of Objects, linked in the description, both the series and my video essay. She doesn't really fit in the mold of the jock until close to, and during, the merge, but it is all a part of her character arc, so calling her a jock doesn't really fit. Snowball, specifically from BFB, has been on teams with much bigger targets of the audience than him, and he has also gone through a tiny little arc of his own, if not noticeable. That's all I can think of in terms of jocks that survived. If there are any others I missed, leave it in the comments. Here's the main question. Why do writers write jocks like this? I personally have not talked to any show writer myself, but I think it might be as simple as the trope being popular, tried, and tested through many object shows. So using this jock mold may be easier. It also allows for an easy audience and boot target, without any other character who may be important for later on being at risk. Obviously do not know for sure, but is an educated guess based on how common the jock trope is. Normally, this is the section of the video where I make my own suggestions about what can be done with jock characters, but this time, I'm not going to do a list. The simplest way to make a jock character better is to give them character development. Shocker, I know. It is really the difference for any character being loved or a mere footnote. I realize making an unlikable character may be purposeful, but at the same time, when 9 times out of 10 it's the character that fits the jock archetype, it gets very predictable very quickly. The only other way to improve the jock is to not use it at all. Can't be first or second eliminated without being in the show. Another reason why this archetype's serial low placement is not good for the overarching plot of the season. If all the outwardly hostile contestants are gone before the merge, then the second half of the show is lacking in interesting conflict. Unless the plan was always to have a twist villain, similar to Scarlet from Pocateo Island from Teledrama, come out of left field, then perhaps it's not as bad. That's why Flower rejoins the FDI, to create conflict. This section is not me saying we as the audience should never vote out a mean character, but instead, it may be a good idea to further consider what a contestant brings to the table story-wise before voting. For instance, does the joke/gimmick character who will never get character development need to stay in the show? That's all for this video. I realize this video may be a bit more opinionated than some of my other object analysis, but with this trope as rampant as the jock, I can't really quantify it and gather concrete data for when so many shows do this. If you disagree, leave your take on the jocks in the comments. That's all I have for this video. Bye. I tried to use some music this time. I hope you guys like it. I guess. I don't know. Gotta love this unscripted section of the video. I got nothing, just, I don't know, leave music suggestions in the comments, I guess, I don't know. Bye, everyone.